Welcome back and Happy New Year. It's January 2nd, 2021. That's a new milestone. Well, I'm heading to the boat just to mainly check on it. It's going to be up in the 50-degree Fahrenheit range today. So it'll be pretty decent. It won't be freezing cold on the boat, but my main objective is to check on the bilge pump. From some of my past videos, you know, I've been trying to rework that. I've been having problems with the float switch. I put on a new type of float switch. It's an electronic float switch, which right now I have zero confidence in because I've never really actually seen it work. So with all the rain we've had, some of it leaks past the tarp that I have over top, and it gets down into the cockpit, and I think I may have leaky cockpit drain hoses that causes some of that rainwater or snow melt to go down into the bilge, and it doesn't rapidly fill, but over a course of a couple of months, yeah, it could get quite high if the pump doesn't come on. Not the last time I was there, but one time I was there, and when I first discovered that the pump switch wasn't working, the water had backed up to the top of the bilge, and then the part of the bilge also extends under the cabin floor. It was filled up there, so it didn't come above the floor, but it was quite high. It took several minutes for the pump. I put on manual, and it took several minutes for it to pump out. So obviously it's something that it's been on my mind for a while. We've had a lot of rain. We've also had a lot of snow so far this year. So I think it's good timing. The weather is about right temperature. It's not supposed to rain today, although it's a little bit foggy and misty right now. But a major rainstorm, ice storm went through last night. So we'll check it out and show you what we find, or what I find. Okay, talk to you later. I've arrived at the boat. So you can see the tarp on the top, and it's in pretty good shape, but there are a couple areas where water, like there's a little gap there, and there's a gap over here. It's possible some of the water running off doesn't make it to the outside rail, and some of it may go into the cockpit. So the question is, how much got into the cockpit and down into the bilge? So you're going to find out the same time that I do. Well, there's no water above the cockpit floor. That's at least some good news. Well, I know it's dark down here, but I don't see any standing water, which is good. Let me try to get some lights on. There we go. Okay. This is the floor hatch to the bilge. Well, that is totally dark down there. You can't see anything, but at least I can, and there's no water. So that's all good news. Put that back on. Now let's look down into the engine where you can get access to view the bilge. Yeah, down there is the bilge. And I don't see any water, so it either all evaporated or the pump switch is working. And the charger's working. It's charging at 13.8 volts, so the solar's working. This all looks good. Well, that's all good news. Alright, this is under the cockpit floor. And this is the engine intake seacock. And then it goes half that way to the engine. And then this here is another shutoff valve, and you can see there's a plug in it. And what I use this for is when I winterize the engine, I can hook a hose up to the end of this valve, shut the seacock, let's see, right there, shut that, and then open this, and with the hose into a 5-gallon pail of antifreeze, I can run the engine and just easily pump antifreeze right through the engine. So that's what that valve is there for. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this plug out right now. See if I can do that one-handed. Okay, and then I'm going to open this valve up. And a little bit of antifreeze is going to drip out, but not that much. Alright, so why am I doing that? And then I'm going to open up the seacock. So, if this pump ever fails again, hopefully it'll only get as high as that valve and it'll just run right out. And there's not supposed to be any water in this area of the bilge, but it is a bilge. It connects to the bilge, so anything that's leaking, runs across the floor, whatever, goes down here and eventually makes its way to the pump. So this will give me a little bit of security, knowing that even if the pump fails while it's on land, it'll only get as high as that valve and slowly leak out. Now you're all probably saying, Tom, don't forget to close the valve before you put the boat in the water. And you're absolutely right. I will add that to the top of my list for spring commissioning. On that, I have a flashlight on down at the bilge. You can see there's a little bit of water, but for the most part, it's not up at the switch anywhere. So you can see the one sump pump is to the left of the shaft. So the second pump I put in, I'm going to put over here to the right of the shaft and just slightly above this one. I'll probably have to move this one big black hose here is the manual bilge pump suction, so I'll just have to slide that half a little bit. And then this is just a drain for the potable water system. I can just relocate that as well. So I should be able to fit another pump right here. I think what I'm going to do is start mounting some of these things. This is the solenoid. I'm going to get 2 number 8 screws right here, and I'm going to mount this inside the electrical panel. I glued that block inside there last time I was at the boat, so I can screw this right in without, worrying about puncturing the hole. There's also a gap between this liner and the hole, so I think even if it went through the block, it's not going to hit the hole. I'll get my screwdriver and my drill. I'll start this. Okay, well, you can see where I'm going to put it. There's no way I can hold the camera, hold the flashlight, hold a screw, hold the drill, and hold the solenoid. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, it's in place. I may have to move that bus bar right there over to the right a little bit to make more room to get the cables in. But other than that, that's done. Okay, I'm inside the anchor locker. I just glued these blocks to the upper side of the anchor locker. Like the chain is going to fall through about right over here, so this is well out of the way. This junction box will end up being screwed onto that probably in the spring when these blocks are cured. So I put some duct tape over top the blocks. The epoxy putty, it takes about 6 hours or so to start setting up, but it's pretty good. I mean, once it's hard. I used it on the block of wood inside the electrical panel. So by springtime, these will be rock solid, and I can screw the this junction box up there. This will go right over top of that, and we'll put the cables inside there. As you can see, I have the cables over here where there'll be enough to get inside that box. This is the epoxy putty I use, hardener and a resin, and it's pretty thick. Well, that's it for today. I'm not gonna do a lot of work. It's still a little bit chilly out here, and it'll be so much easier when it's more like 60-70 degrees. Right now it's only like 50 Fahrenheit. So I got the main thing accomplished. Was there's no water in the bilge, so either no water leaked into the bilge or the pump's working. I'm confident. I opened up that seacock like you saw, so even if the worst happens and water starts coming in, it's going to get up to that seacock level and drain out. And why don't you all remind me come spring, close that seacock. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm heading home. You have a really good year. Stay safe. This craziness will be over soon. We're more than halfway through it. Obviously, people are starting to get vaccinated, and that's what I'm waiting for. I made a New Year's resolution. I have a Christmas tree up. I haven't put up a tree in years. So Patty and I put up a Christmas tree, and we decided when we get vaccinated, we'll take our tree down. So that's our goal for the year. Anyway, thanks for watching.